Start with some breaking news coming in. There's a major breakthrough in the Surat gang rape and murder case. The police claim that the victim has been identified and her family is from Andhra Pradesh. Family has reached out claiming that she was their daughter who's gone missing since October 2017. In fact, just to give you a quick recap, 11 days back, the body of a minor girl was found at a cricket ground in Surat with 86 injury marks. The family from Andhra Pradesh reportedly contacted the police after posters of the girl were circulated.
There is an update in the Surat case of that girl child's murder. There is a family from Andhra Pradesh which has claimed that she is their daughter. The father has come here and he has identified the girl as his daughter. Andhra Pradesh police officer has come with them. This girl went missing from Andhra Pradesh in October 2017. We cannot reveal more details. We are yet to say definitely whether it is his daughter because there is no other proof. So we are sending the DNA samples of the father and girl, and when they match, then we'll be able to say whether it's his daughter.
Disha, it is very disturbing that this girl was from Andhra Pradesh. She landed up in that scenario in Gujarat. Is there a human trafficking angle then that the cops are exploring?
Absolutely, Tanvi, and this is what Mirror Now has been constantly getting, the live updates from Surat, and this is what the Surat Police Commissioner, before the press conference, he spoke exclusively to Mirror Now. We are categorically saying that they are suspecting the human trafficking angle because ever since day one, they have been maintaining that the girl is not from Surat and she is a migrant. The incident happened somewhere else and she was dumped and thrown here. So this is one of the statement that the police officials have been maintaining, be it the Surat police here or the crime branch officials. And after 11 days, Tanvi, it took really 11 days for the police to identify, and still yet what we are given to understand from the police commissioner himself is the fact that 3 families had really come forward, and this is what Mirror Now had broken first on here today, categorically saying that 2 families from Rajasthan and 1 family from Andhra Pradesh had come forward to identify the victim here in the new civil hospital. And in the press conference today, Satish Sharma, the Surat police commissioner, went on to confirm that one Andhra Pradesh family has claimed that she was their daughter. She went missing since October 2017. There was really no report afterwards about her or about her whereabouts, and only today, after really getting through the posters on the social media, on the railway stations, local trains, the family really got to know about their daughter. They have come here, but the police at this point in time is not confirming about the family's identity. They will match the DNA samples, and that is something that the police is looking on priority, Tanvi.
All right, Disha. Well, these are things that should really matter, and these are things that should outrage our country and continue to do that. Because unless and until these kind of brutalities stop, these kind of horrific incidents stop, there is really no point of us progressing as a nation if we can't even keep our children safe. Disha Shah, thank you so much for getting us that update and tracking that story. Let's now look at the big story. Good evening, voters. One would think that the nation's outrage over the handling of the Kathua case and the Supreme Court stepping in, those with vested interests would get the message. Unfortunately, our politicians have a thick skin. Now, Chaudhry Lal Singh, who just last week stepped down as a Jammu and Kashmir minister, is unrepenting, is claiming that he made a sacrifice, that he wasn't even at fault. He wants you to believe that he simply wants a CBI probe and that he simply wants justice for the 8-year-old girl because he cares about that little girl. Or that is his way of pushing out his own agenda. So stay with me tonight on this show, because bit by bit, I will show you how it's all propaganda to sway you, to brainwash you. Take a look.
बड़ा अपने आप से मीडिया ना सारे मेरा बड़ा पुराण है पुत्र मेरे को पुराण भी है तू रेसलिंग करनी तो
Forced to step down as Jammu and Kashmir minister last week, BJP's Chaudhry Lal Singh is now drumming up support from Jammu to Kathua for a CBI probe in the rape and murder of the 8-year-old girl. But that just seems to be the pretext to play his vote bank politics. Listen to the part that exposes his real intent.
असें लोकें की डोगरें की इस रियासत के डोगरें की हिंदुस्तान से पेश किया गया कि ये सारे लोग प्रो-रेपिस्ट
The intent is clear. Drum up support for self, while making the locals believe that they have been villainized by the government and the national media. All this even as India watches the case unfold at the top court, where the Jammu and Kashmir government has to respond on whether the case should be shifted out of the state. In any case, the Supreme Court believes that the CBI is not needed here for now.
We are very much sure that our transfer petition will be allowed because we are having merits, and let's see what happens.
The focus for India is justice for the Kathua victim. But can the same be said for a few lawyers and politicians in Jammu and Kashmir? The debate begins now.
But in fact, some more breaking news coming in. Sources say that the local, like the BJP leadership, is not happy with the way the party high command has forced 2 ministers to resign. They think it's a huge loss of face for the local leaders, and which is why now the top leadership has had to crack the whip. Now, is there a reshuffle on cards, or are other BJP ministers in state of Jammu and Kashmir revolting in support of the other 2 ministers? Let's go across to Fareed and understand what is happening here, Fareed. Is it the top leadership that wants to send across a message to all those who want to support these 2 to fall in line? Or is it some other kind of reshuffle we are looking at? Okay, we seem to have lost that line with Fareed. But what we are given to understand, and sources tell us, is that the BJP will now induct new faces in the cabinet, retail old ones on the basis of their performance or whether or not they agree to toe the line. Fareed is back with us. Fareed, what are you picking up from your sources? What's happening within the BJP unit of Jammu and Kashmir? Okay, bad line there with Fareed. We're going to move on to our debate next and keep getting you more updates as developments continue within the Jammu and Kashmir BJP units. So let's say good evening to Vaibhav Agarwal, leader of the BJP, Vasundhara Pathak Masoodi, lawyer, Supreme Court, Rafi Mir, General Secretary of PDP, Ashok Pandit, filmmaker. And I want to go across to Mr. Rafi Mir first, as representative of the PDP. Mr. Mir, at such a sensitive time, should anybody be allowed to hold massive rallies where they are speaking about a specific community being targeted and victimized nationally by people or by opposition parties? Why are you allowing this former minister to go on a rampage and a rant like this?
You are very right that at such a point of time and on this such a sensitive issue and the shameful issue, things should have calmly settled now. Now that the Supreme Court has also intervened and said that there is no any other requirement for any other investigation in the court, and the political parties like that of our ally BJP, they had taken also a call on this by telling the 2 ministers to be out of power, and the resignation was accepted. I think it is again very childish. It is worth criticizing that they have done this way of demonstration today. But in any way, I tell you, they belong to BJP, not to PDP. This call is taken to by the BJP again. But I, as a citizen of the country, as a resident of Jammu and Kashmir,
what do you mean the call has been taken by the BJP
that,
again? Mr.
yes,
Mir, are you not in alliance with the party? Are you not governing the state? Are you not in power in state of Jammu and Kashmir? Does Mehbooba Mufti have any control over what is happening in a state or not?
Yes, I will respond to this question also. Initially, the decision taken by the BJP was very all right. They were asked to submit their resignation, which was accepted by the governor after a due recommendation by the Honorable Chief Minister. Today, now they being out of power, they did this sort of demonstration there, which is condemnable. But initially, tell me, primarily once assembling on a roadside on a particular issue, you never know what they are going to do. So I say that they belong to BJP, and BJP is in power. They will have to take a call on this and put riders on them and whole of the party, in fact, and everybody, that they should not hinder this process anymore when there is no scope for further politicking, because the call from the verdict from Supreme Court has come, intervention from Supreme Court has come. I think this matter should settle down, and we must wait for the earliest decision of the court, and the Chief Minister has undertaken this responsibility to take up the matter with the Honorable Court.
Well, I want to make one thing very clear to our viewers.
And no more politics on this.
Yes, I want to make one thing very clear to our viewers. I have said it from day one for 10 days now. I will say it again for the benefit of those who haven't understood this point. There is no harm in anybody demanding for a CBI probe. We are not questioning anybody's intent for a CBI probe. But it becomes a problem when you go out there and you tell people, you stand up on a vehicle, you hold a mic and you roam around the area telling people that the government and the national media is making the Dogras community look like they are pro-rapists. That is absolutely disgusting and shocking that a politician would have to resort to these kind of tactics. We are not sitting here and talking about Dogras. We are not sitting here and talking about Kashmiris. We are not sitting here and talking about Gujars. We are sitting here and talking and demanding justice for an 8-year-old girl who didn't know about these finer details. But she is dead tonight. And we are asking for justice for that. So Vaibhav Agarwal, why doesn't your man get the message, and why does he keep resorting to these kind of disgusting vote bank politics?
Tanvi, I will not have a clue as to what has happened because the government recently, they resigned recently out of the government. And it was only because of the reason that perhaps there were some things which were out of line. Now, what were his local compulsions in terms of holding a rally in the area about the same topic that we are talking about, and so on and so forth? Is the best person to talk about that would be, of course, Chaudhry Lal Singh. So I would not be in a position to comment on what was going on in the local area, and because whatever comment I will do, it will be to quite a level as a Chinese whisper. So I would not want to comment on that.
You are making it sound like, Mr. Agarwal, that they are two separate issues. They are not two separate issues. He is a party leader. He is a man who has been elected as an MLA and an MP multiple times. He has quite a bit of weight. Even if you force him to resign, it's not helping. He is going about spreading poison there. If you want, Vaibhav, I will play out that clip for you. In the guise of, in the garb of demanding a CBI probe, saying that he wants justice for this little girl, he then starts talking about how the one specific community is being victimized. That the whole state of Jammu and Kashmir and the Kashmiri media, and perhaps even the Pakistanis and the national media, and what not, is after this one community. What is he doing?
Perhaps it could. Perhaps there are legal compulsions on it. I mean, perhaps there are local compulsions on it. I mean, how will I even comment on it? And if he's I would know about it. Chaudhry Lal Singh would be the best person to, I could text you his number and you could
Chaudhry Lal Singh, we've tried to get in touch with him.
On this
I think maybe if you can get your party and yourself or whoever can speak to him and tell him to come out and speak, it will be great.
I'll try and speak to him tomorrow.
Because he's evading cameras, he's not getting in touch with the reporters.
I'll try and speak to him tomorrow.
I put out a message on social media as well saying if he wants to,
no,
please
I don't
do.
think he's doing. There is nothing illegal. See, there is a viewpoint that is situational. Absolutely, what he's doing to himself, by what he's doing by conducting a rally, perhaps is his viewpoint, and his viewpoint allows him to do that. But where we are sitting and debating on a panel, and we are trying to take another viewpoint on that, perhaps our viewpoint could be a little different than that. So this is bound to happen.
This is not about viewpoints. This is not about viewpoints.
If
he has a viewpoint,
why would it be?
If he has a viewpoint, his party is in the state governing. If he has a viewpoint, his party has power at the center. If he has a viewpoint, he has access to all legal options in front of him. Nobody gives him a right to go about vitiating the atmosphere like that, because I know how people are now beginning to see this. He's making it sound like it is a Jammu people versus rest of India, and that it's not politicians like him who are vitiating the atmosphere, but people who are actually demanding for justice for that 8-year-old girl who are doing that. Nobody, Ashok Pandit, tell me this. Which national leader, which
just a CBI inquiry. There's nothing illegal he's doing about it.
I will play out that clip, Ashok Pandit, when in all of those protests that have happened in the last several days, when the citizens of the rest of the country have come out on streets demanding justice, who was sitting there and talking about how one specific community or the Dogras are pro-rapists or are all rapists? Nobody said that. What gives the right to this politician to then use those protests to divide people like that?
Tanvi, I am looking at the entire episode into 3 different sections. One, that the shameful act had happened in Kathua, where this girl was raped and murdered. And there was an outcry, and thanks to all of you, that this minister, Lal Singh, was forced to resign. And probably because he was humiliated, he felt humiliated, and he wanted to show his power to the system or to the people or to the country that I'm still powerful and doesn't make a difference to me. Even if I'm not a minister in the states. That's what the arrogance of a politician, is the latest religion. They are all arrogant because he did what he did, and now he wants to prove. Now coming to the third section is the resignation of BJP ministers today from the assembly.
Yes.
Now, this is probably not to do anything with this Kathua thing. I, on the ground level, have been observing from last so many months and years that the basic marriage of PDP and BJP had to go in for a divorce, because BJP is in power in Jammu and Kashmir because of Jammu, because of the people of Jammu and not because of people of Kashmir. But Mehbooba Mufti very smartly had put Jammu at the back burner, and Jammu was not developing. So people in Jammu are questioning the capability and capacity of the local BJP leaders. The BJP leaders are not able to go to the constituency of theirs because people are questioning them.
No.
The stone pelters got amnesty. The terrorists are all out in the open. So there is a lot of discontent in the people, in the minds of people in Jammu.
Ashok Pandit, I don't know if it is about Ashok Pandit. I don't know if it is about people of Pandit or about leaders from that area who want to take this excuse, take this opportunity in the light of what has happened in Kathua and play it up like that. And that is my problem. If they thought that things weren't well, which they haven't been with the PDP for the longest time, BJP and PDP haven't seen eye to eye on any single issue in so long. If they actually thought that Mehbooba Mufti wasn't helping them, why didn't they do this 10 days ago? Why is it happening now?
This is not the right time.
Because this is the right time. You can now play with the sentiments.
This is not the right time.
Yes. Yes,
this was not the right time.
No, I am saying
right.
they see it as a time to play with the sentiments of the people.
The arrogance. This is
to tell these people, look again, Mehbooba Mufti and her Kashmiri media and Gilani and separatists have all come together to twist this whole story about the Kathua case and to come after you. That is the narrative that is being pushed there. And that is my problem. Mr. Mir, whatever is the problem between the BJP and the PDP is for you to sort out. Right. Yes, it's for you to sort out and give us governance. Look at what things have come down to.
Will you give me a minute? I'll reply to this question.
Right. I'm totally.
Yes. Look, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know which part of the country Mr. Ashok Pandit is sitting in, and he is passing comments. I don't know. It's a compliment to us or is a criticism to us. We are in an alliance, and
how does that matter?
A situation has
how does that matter? How does that matter?
Situation has arisen. Please let me. Mr. Pandit, I heard you. I heard you very patiently. Please give me time. Let me complete. You'll speak on your turn only, please. So I don't know if you have a disliking for this sort of coalition. I don't know. That's for you to decide. And I don't know what makes you to say that the government is dependent on Jammu people and not Kashmir people. This government is a coalition government. We don't see state like this. This is a single unit whole, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, single unit, and the very alliance has been framed keeping in view the mandate of the people, the respect and sentiment of the people has been respected by the parties which are in government this time. Now the situation which has arisen in Kathua, it has been very properly dealt by the government, which has been supported by whole of the country, the secular people of the country, all the media houses, electronic media, print media, and everybody.
But Mr. Mir,
that
if
is
the
how
people of
this
Jammu want a CBI inquiry, why doesn't the Chief Minister just give us a
let me complete. That is how now that Supreme Court has said that there is no
Mr. Mir, you are highly gentlemen, please calm down. One at a time.
You had a very valid point in saying that these two ministers could have spoken this. They could have spitted this venom 10 days before. It could have been valid.
Okay.
Now that only they have lost the chair. I
want to tell you, Mr. Rafi Mir,
all the participants,
you may be mistaken.
Jammu and Kashmir is suffering very badly. We need not to make
please, this is not the platform for your politics. You're mistaken if you think that we are sitting here and dishing out certificates for great performance for either your party or the BJP or anybody. The reason that the entire country is outraged for the past 10 days is because everybody, those in power have failed to deliver on justice. So I think you're highly mistaken if you think people are very happy with just everything that PDP and Mehbooba Mufti government has done. The state government was forced to do that. The state government, I will tell you, I know what you're asking, listen to my answer. No, I will tell you this. The state government and the police and Mehbooba Mufti was forced to do what they did in terms of an investigation because the family and their lawyer went to court. And the court said, what is going on? We are going to look into this case. We want the team change. We want regular updates. So please, for you,
I think you are not correct.
Is it not a court-monitored probe, Mr. Mir?
Tanvi, I think you are not correct. Yes, of course, yes.
Then that's that.
Of course, yes. There are parties other than the government also. And everybody, please it's a very important question you asked me. People other than the government, those who are governing the state, there are people who had a very right, a democratic right, that they could have approached the court, and which they did. Court intervened, they kept monitoring the case on day-to-day basis, but the very fact you are ignoring is the very investigation by a special team of crime branch headed by a very, very senior officer was ordered only by our government, headed by Mehbooba Mufti. So I don't think anybody has a reason to say that the government has failed. Though there were hiccups, there were difficulties from outside the government.
Let me go across to Vasundhara Pathak Masudi. Okay, Mr. Mir, I think we will give you, tell you great job done the day justice is done, and when this trial goes through. and the accused are punished. The right accused are punished.
We
Before
hope
that,
for that. We
yes.
hope for that.
Mr. Pandit, please
We
hold
hope
on a
for
minute
that.
because I haven't managed to go across to Vasundhara Pathak Masoodi and I want to do that. And Vasundhara, here is my question to you. When the case has already reached the top court, when it was already a court-monitored investigation, the Supreme Court has now looked into it. They're going to decide whether the case needs to move out of the state or not. They don't see the merit in CBI giving the case. Do you think it is fair then for any politician or any person with some kind of power to use that to try and sway and build public opinion on it?
Well, Tanvi, I must also mention that when yesterday this matter came up for hearing in the Supreme Court of India, two specific aspects were discussed at length. One with respect to the CBI inquiry and the another one with respect to the transfer of case outside the state of J&K. When it came to the CBI inquiry, the Supreme Court of India asked the specific question to the victim's family whether they want it to be handed over, are they satisfied with the probe or not, and then they were informed by the victim's family and the lawyers of the victim that they were very much satisfied by the inquiry conducted by the Special Crime Branch team. Now, upon this particular statement given by the victim's family, the Honorable Apex Court came up with the observation, rather direction, that there is no need then to hand over the inquiry to the CBI. Number one. Number two, I really fail to understand as to what on earth is moving these people. Have they come out of their senses? This is the yes, observation. Is it really an opportunity to grind their political mills? Is it really the horrific case, the horrendous case of this girl in Asifa? Is it the only opportunity left for them to bring out their differences between the region of Jammu and the region of Kashmir? Is it the only opportunity left for them to show out their cultural identity is more superior than the identity of the others? Is it the only case left wherein these people are allowed to bake their unholy political breads? This is something which is very, very unnerving. Yes. Look how we have been targeted internationally. Look what is happening in United Nations. We have been insulted. Look how people are actually advising their daughters not to visit India. And as far as the lawyers of the defense is concerned, do you know, Tanvi, there is a concentrated vilification campaign which is not only going in Jammu, it is going all over in India. It is also going through the social media pages. It is going on through rather the media houses, that everyone tries to be an unqualified advocate on behalf of the defense and comes out with the conspiracy theory and causing a sort of, they try to hijack the entire narrative. This is something which is very, very painful. Yes. Look at the mentality of the defense lawyer. He says that the lawyer of that Kathua victim, she is a woman and therefore she doesn't have the minds to, sorry, not the lawyer, but the Deputy Superintendent of Police who conducted the entire investigation. She's a woman and she doesn't have the minds to do so. So there is a stark similarity between what the defense lawyers in Nirbhaya case said and what is this gentleman, the defense lawyer in Kathua rape case is saying. Look at their mentality. I may refer to a story which was published in Quint a couple of days before, an interview which was conducted by one of very acclaimed senior journalist, Mr. Ahmed Ali investigating officer, wherein he has given an account by way of that interview, a spine-chilling detail, a spine-chilling detail as to how this lady, Deputy Superintendent of Police, the kind of goosebumps she had, the kind of emotional, at times, breakdown she had, but she held her head high. She was very much committed. She was determined to grill the accused person and extricate the truth. And extricate the truth to come out with this charge.
So there is this lady who investigated the case.
Unholy business of vitriolic campaign is being launched in this entire case.
Hats off to the lady who investigated the case and faced this vitriolic campaign that now many of us are also seeing get unleashed across the country. And she stood up to that and she went on with the investigation without giving in to pressure. Hats off to the lawyer who took up this case and is being threatened for that. When this is the atmosphere, Vaibhav Agarwal, is it right then for your party?
We are passing through, Tanvi. Please allow me to complete. Tanvi,
Yes,
I
Vasu.
feel that we are passing through a phase where there is a complete social breakdown, where there is a complete breakdown of morality, where there is a complete breakdown of entire humanity, I must say, where these people, in terms of milking out the opportunity to have their political gains, these people do not want to leave any stone unturned to sort of try to give it a complete communal color. This is really abysmal. This is extremely painful for me as a human being, for me as a lawyer, for me as a part of this society. This is extremely abysmal.
I find it disappointing because I don't think that when we picked up this story, we gave it the communal color. I know exactly who sat on this debate and who gave it that communal twist. I know exactly people who messaged me giving it that communal twist, talking about these angles which are now being spoken about openly. We only asked about the case details, the facts and justice, and why was it that a group of lawyers had decided to block that process of justice, Vaibhav Agarwal. I will come back to you because I fail to understand that if the party leadership believes that these two men were out of line, then how is it that today they are being allowed to do what they're doing?
I'm very surprised that you know, we want to crucify at the very moment. But as I've said earlier, the entire party is not responsible for actions committed by A legislator, B legislator, or C legislator. There is an individual capacity, definitely. Chaudhry Lal Singh is a known fact, is an ex-congressman. Ajay Singh Bish, who runs the Hindu Ekta Manch, who started the entire protest, is a congressman, sitting congressman. The lawyer's head, the lawyer community head, B.L. Salathia, he's a congressman, Ghulam Nabi Azad's polling agent or whatever.
So?
And you know, what else do you want me to come out with? You know, so I don't want to be, one moment.
Are you
Don't be in a
expecting
rush.
the Congress to
Don't
come
be in a
out and
rush.
tell a BJP
If you're
MLA
expecting
what
me to
to
make
do
a
and what
statement,
not to do?
if you're expecting me,
Are you expecting the Congress party to come out and tell a BJP MLA what to do and what not to do? Or should I expect the BJP president to come out and say that?
What's the point of having me, Tanvi? If you want to, you know, I would, if you want to crucify as an anchor and not be neutral, what's the point of having me on the debate? You could do it all the time you want.
Those dives are not needed, Vaibhav Agarwal. Just answer the question, please.
So the answer, so to answer your specific question, as I've stated the facts, there are some facts which are facts, and there are some facts which are made to appear as facts. Now, I would respect, as Indians, and while we are all outraged, and don't think that I'm not outraged, I'm equally outraged. Everyone has a way to show their outrage. I may be controlled, you may be showing it right now. Vasundhara ma'am is showing it in her way. Mir Saab and Ashok ji is showing in their way. You know, we can't, no five fingers are the same. So, we are all showing our outrage in some way or the other. Unfortunately, I am a politician and I represent the ruling party. So, that's okay. But fortunate for me that I know what's going on inside. So
which is what? What is going on inside? What is going on inside?
There are constituent.
What is going on inside? Are the rest of your ministers threatening to quit? Are the rest of the ministers threatening to quit and are twisting your BJP leadership?
You have to ask Rafi Mir. Oh,
this is
my
very
God.
much self-contradictory.
You want to be. You have to ask Rafi Mir. You have to
Tanvi,
ask
this
Rafi
is very
Mir.
much self-contradictory.
You have to ask Rafi Mir on this. And you have to ask the Jammu and Kashmir Bharatiya Janata Party unit, which I don't think we will have anything else to talk of as to more than what I'm saying.
Okay, I will come back to you in a bit. I want to show my viewers something. I will come back to you, Vaibhav Agarwal. Since you cannot take responsibility for obviously Chaudhry Lal Singh and what he does, and you cannot speak on behalf of, and fair enough, so on behalf of the Jammu and Kashmir BJP unit, let me bring this out to our viewers. Because I told them at the beginning of the show, bit by bit, I will show you what the propaganda of leaders like Chaudhry Lal Singh is. And I will again say it, if Chaudhry Lal Singh wants to give his defense, he is welcome to call us and we will do this.
What is the problem? I'm asking again and again, what is the problem of having a CBI
Let me play out the clip. No, Vasundhara, 1 minute. I want to play out a clip for my viewers. I want to play out
in having a CBI inquiry?
for
Why is
my
everyone from
viewers.
the opposition-
This is
why
part
is
of the
everyone so
rally
controlled?
that Chaudhry Lal Singh conducted today, where people of the entire area from Kathua to Jammu could hear him and see him, where he spoke about how he's fighting for justice for this girl, where he spoke about how his only motive is this getting a CBI inquiry, where he spoke about how he's only fighting for the people
Absolutely.
of Kathua. And then
And
he
he's a
spoke
public
about
representative and he's doing that in public.
how the
It's his
people
constituency.
of
He's an MLA
Jammu
from
and how the Dogras are being victimized. I do not understand where that comes from. As far as I am concerned and our channel is concerned, the only reason we have repeatedly asked him questions and the only reason we've repeatedly asked questions of those lawyers, of that bar association and anybody linked to the BJP who was involved in those protests is, what were you doing? We don't care about the community you're talking about, so don't you dare drag them in unless you have a specific agenda, which is to reach out to that community for your votes, because you have failed to deliver in governance in the last 3 years. Now listen to what he told those people who were standing there when he went around that car holding this rally. Here is Chaudhry Lal Singh.
असें लोकें गी डोगरें गी इस रियासत दे डोगरें गी हिंदुस्तान च पेश किया गया कि ये सारे लोग प्रो रेपिस्ट और हालात ऐसे बनाए कश्मीर के मीडिया ने और उत्थों दे गिलानी और सेपरेटिस्ट लोग जिसले गिलानी ने कहा कि सीबीआई इंक्वायरी नहीं होगी तो जान उसले निकली थी.
See how he does that? See how he brings in the propaganda about whatever he wants to talk about Gujars and Kashmiris and Gilani and separate. It is not up to him. He's an elected MLA. There is a certain way he is expected to behave. He's dividing the people over there and he has the audacity to turn around and blame us. He has the audacity to turn around and blame us for vitiating the atmosphere. Shame.
You've not gone ahead and questioned Gilani.
Now, since you cannot defend him,
why doesn't he comment on
let me finish this. Let me tell my viewers a little bit more about Chaudhry Lal Singh.
Flags in his,
1 minute, please.
In his rallies in the Indian territories. Does Vasundhara ji have a comment on that?
This is not about Gilani.
Comment on that?
If you are going to defend Chaudhry Lal Singh about raking the name of Gilani, then you are exactly doing what he is doing, and then you are exposing it. That then I did not bring up the name of Gilani and separatists in the Kashmiri media. You did, and your man did.
Why not?
Now listen to this, and this is for my viewers to know, before I go across to Vasundhara and some of our callers.
Why doesn't your channel bring it up and question the separatists?
Was elected as MLA from Vitriol constituency in 1996. He was re-elected in 2002. Just a little bit about who this man is and why we're talking about him, because he's been elected as MLA multiple times. He was the Minister for Health and Medical Education in the Congress PDP coalition government. And then he was also elected MP twice. He is also the man who humiliated a doctor, Gurmeet Kaur, for not wearing a lab coat. When he was a minister, he yelled at her, he humiliated her, insulted her. He told her to get out in front of a huge group of people who had gathered there. All because this arrogant minister thought he could do that to a doctor because he was the health minister. I still remember how she broke down on national media because she was so badly affected by it. In May 26, a group of Gujar community representatives had gone to Chaudhry Lal Singh's residence in Jammu seeking help for some orchard land. Allegedly, he threatened them, referring to a certain massacre that took place in 1947. I don't even want to go into the details of what was reported of him having been said. But I will say this, that Chaudhry Lal Singh came out and denied it, saying he was actually referring to the temperature of Jammu city that had hit 47 degrees Celsius due to the felling of trees, and that he said that would not be tolerated anymore. That was his bizarre defense. In December 2017, there were again protests by this same community against this minister for harassing them. I can go on and give you more examples, only to show you that this leader had certain issues. He is now using this opportunity to brainwash people that he is on their side in the name of CBI probe and justice for that girl, while he pushes forward his propaganda.
Tanvi, may I come in?
Yes, Vasundhara. I don't want to go into the merits of...
Why can't we get a CBI
Because he cannot... What? Of course he can. Why does he mix the two issues up? Why does he mix the two issues
Can
up?
I please intervene?
I am not talking about
Can
the
I
merits
please
of either
intervene?
of the two issues. Vasundhara first and then Ashok
Well,
Pandit.
that's politics of India. Who doesn't do that?
Thank you for accepting
Just
that,
because he's a
Vaibhav
BJP
Agarwal.
MLA,
Please
you're
allow me
absolutely trying
to
condemn him.
answer.
Yes.
Everyone does that.
Please allow me to answer.
I am not
Please
accepting
allow
it.
me
It's
to
an open
answer.
secret.
When Honorable Supreme Court has come up with specific observation that there is no need for the CBI inquiry, then to launch such massive campaign, cajoling people or brainwashing them and projecting that this is a vilification. Would you please allow me to complete, sir? Would you please allow me to complete, and then to launch a massive campaign to project as if there is some kind of a discrimination which is being played out? It's something which is totally like creating obstruction in the course of justice. Number two, if at all there has been any kind of, botched up investigation, if the investigation has not been done the way it should have been, if there are lacunae, if there is a kind of a made-up case deliberately which has been made up against the accused person, if there are certain grey areas, all these things finally are going to help the accused person. Why to come up with every hour to come up with new demand, whether by way of launching a massive campaign to have a CBI inquiry? Why don't you calmly wait and watch? Ultimately, these things which you are coming up with help you during the course of trial.
Okay, that is fact one.
There is something which is called judicial process.
Vasundhara, if you will allow me this, please. If you will allow me this, please, because Ashok...
These are the things which surely are not going to be, ignored by the court of law. These are the things.
Vasundhara, allow me this, please. These are the things that the court of law has to decide. If you have a problem with the way the process is going, please go to the court. You have every right to demand a CBI probe. Please do it with your government.
Wait for it.
Please go to the court and do it with your government, of course. But Ashok Pandit, do you see that two issues are getting mixed up here? And that people are using this as the tool to play with people's emotions and get some votes. If there are issues like you point out, take it up on another platform. Should the platforms be mixed and politics be played over the death and a gang rape of an 8-year-old?
Tanvi, you're absolutely right when you said this, because I feel that it's high time that these politicians of this country, of our country, belonging to all political parties, should start, learning to be sensitive towards especially such issues. And there are few politicians who are sensitive. I don't want to deny that. But I want to raise a very important issue here, and I want to, speak to Vaibhav Agarwal ji, that he is saying that this man is behaving in such a way because he's an ex-Congress man, and that's why he's misbehaving. Now, we are talking about the present, and if you feel that he was such a wrong politician, a politician who basically behaves is misbehaving, first of all, he should have not been taken into BJP. Now that one second, and now that he is in BJP and he is misbehaving, then the only alternative is for the BJP to sack him from the party, not only as an MLA. Because today, as Tanvi, you're saying, today the kind of retort he has been raising of inciting the Dogras of Jammu, that as if the entire media, entire country is blaming the Dogras to be supportive of rapists, which is absolutely wrong. Nobody said that. But this politician is trying to create a rift between Dogras and Kashmiris and Ladakhis and Sikhs in the entire state, which is more dangerous.
True.
And this has to be brought to an end. And to the MLA who belongs to PDP, he is asking me that, which part of India I'm sitting. But I would like to tell him that I'm a Kashmiri, sir. I belong to Jammu and Kashmir, and I know what is happening in Jammu and Kashmir. Just because you're an MLA, you don't know more than me.
Right.
We all know each other. We all know that how PDP and BJP have failed people of Jammu in and out right from the time you have come to power.
Vaibhav Agarwal, you want to respond first and then Rafi Mir?
Tell me 1 minute.
Yes, Mr. Mir coming to you, but he first had something to say to Vaibhav.
Ashokji. Yeah, so Ashokji has a very valid point, and point well taken, Ashokji. But I definitely did not, you know, I'm one of the people, and we've debated before, I'm one of the people who tend to go above my party line and be apolitical, because I see spade as a spade. You know, I don't see spade as something else. So I absolutely agree to what you're saying humbly. But what I said, that, you know, there is the MLA he's an ex-congressman. There is the BL Salatia, the president of the Bar Association, he's a congressman. And these are only the optics I'm talking about. I'm sorry, I have not gone to Kathua or Jammu in the very recent, so I wouldn't be able to comment on the local there. But what I've seen and what I've debated and what I've interacted with certain people from there, basis that, you know, the lawyer who's heading the victim has a money collection, has a donation campaign going on in Delhi by the leftists. Please appreciate what I'm saying, and I'm going on record in saying that I have a lot of information on this. And she's already funded by a leading NGO, by a leading senior advocate of the Supreme Court, by the way. So that is one part. And all this is happening in the name of justice for Asifa. So, you know, there is a lot that is going on. You know, the Hindu Ekta Manch rally, there was the congressman, you know, there is so on and so forth. So I don't want to, these are only the optics that I'm aware of. And I think I'm saying that from those
secretary of the BJP unit, Hindu Ekta Manch, of whom the founder is accused in the case, has another senior leader who was the secretary of BJP in the state, who Ram Madhav confirmed on Friday has now been kicked out. Accused in the case, Hindu Ekta Manch, BJP leader, BJP ministers. Join the dots.
You know, so
I'm going to go across to my viewers now. I'm going to go across to my viewers now. No, 1 minute, Vaibhav Agarwal.
Point well taken. All I'm saying humbly that it is only the optics that we are saying, let's take a CBI inquiry. I am not to dabble in the local
I think his optics,
I have no idea.
I think these optics is what your leader is going for, and I think by going for those optics, he is setting a very, very dangerous precedent. I have a caller calling in from Rajasthan. Okay, we've lost that caller. Saravanan is on the phone line.
Its intentions very much clear with regards to CBI inquiry.
Yes, Vasudha, just 1 minute, please. Let me go across to Mr. Saravanan calling us from Chennai. He's a regular viewer and he's with us this evening as well. Yes, Mr. Saravanan, go ahead, please.
Yeah, good evening, Tanvi. Good evening, all the panelists. I request all the panelists to the point, listen to my view. What is happening in China for this kind of a heinous crime? Either it is a anti-conversion law or it is an anti-rapist law. The court case is done within a week's time. They are hanged to death. And the point is that they are bringing the justice within a week's time. There is no escape for people who are doing this heinous crime. I request Indian government, all the politicians to bring about immediate resolution in Parliament, Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, irrespective of the differences cutting across the party, to bring about a bill like China to nip the people in a week's time. This is stupidity which is going on from 1984. If you Google search, we can find people are protesting for rape, gang rape. The women have been fighting from 1984. We have photographs in the Google. And this is a very shameless act which has been done. So a blame game has been done by all the political parties across media or the Bar Council or whatever the pillars of the democracy is doing all the blame game. I request all the panelists to sincerely take my opinion, to call for immediate Parliament to pass a bill within a week.
I totally agree.
To hang the
Mr. Saravanan, to some extent, I do agree with you that we need stricter punishments, but we already have quite a few strict laws. The problem is that in the recent spate of cases across the states, and I'm not just talking about Kathua or Unnao or Assam or Surat right now, we are not even reaching the point where the right culprit is being caught. What is happening is powerful people are managing to this way and that way derail the investigations, and the case is not even reaching the courthouse. The investigation is not even happening properly. The key accused in few cases are not even being arrested. So let alone what the penalty is going to be once they are convicted and found guilty, where any which is the conviction rate is so low. We are looking at a position, Vasundhara, where the actual accused don't even get caught half the time.
No, see, Tanvi, I would like to first of all comment on what Vaibhav has said. What I was expecting from Vaibhav today is that since his party has been continuously targeted for all the wrong reasons, I was actually expecting a sane or a mature statement from him that yes, if Mr. Lal Singh had this massive rally and tried to, communalize the entire narrative, he should not have done it, and they should rein in their leaders in Jammu for creating this communal divide between the people of Jammu and Kashmir, because this is really this entire rebel rousing. It's all causing more harm to their cause than any good.
This is only a few section people who have agendas are saying that. This is not the party's view, and this is not the local. The PDP and the BJP are not trying to divide any communal divide in Jammu and Kashmir. Be rest assured, J&K, Jammu and Kashmir, for anyone who's listening and who does not understand this, is a part of India, is not an accidental part of India. So there is no communal divide there. We are as a total territory in totality.
Okay, I have to go to Mr. Rafi Mir for 30 seconds
Kashmir,
before I wrap up.
I take it from you that
Vasundhara and Vaibhav, hold on for a minute. I couldn't go across to Rafi Mir for 30 seconds. He needed to make a point. Yes. Very quickly, please, because then I need to wrap up.
In Jammu,
I wanted to respond quickly that barring couple of people are barring a few small. Please.
Yes, Mr. Mir.
I want to respond quickly to what you said is, barring few of the people, a very smart number of people, be it even legislators or BJP or whatever it is, I think whole of the country and especially media people and Bollywood people have risen to the occasion and supported all this. But making, as one of the friends was suggesting on phone, to have laws like that of China, I must add to the information of everybody that our Chief Minister also suggested that we'll bring a law where death will be the penalty on such cases. But the way all the people in India have arisen, and all of the world, in fact, against this, I think we will move in a right direction after such heinous crime has arisen, and it gives us also some responsibility to the citizens of the country, citizens of the area, that we must also come up to the occasion. So the people who are attached to these crimes and pampering them, they should be discouraged in the society.
Yes. No, I just want to say here, and I want to say this to Vaibhav as I wrap this up, and to his party, and to the viewers as well. I think the BJP is missing the woods for the trees by allowing these leaders to kick up a political and a communal storm over a dastardly act of rape and murder, just for political benefits in one area or another region at best. Like Vaibhav Agarwal says, so what? This is politics, and they're doing that. Tomorrow when people from another community make a similar claim, then BJP will cry foul. Make no mistakes about that. Today it must remember that by giving a loose leash to elements like Chaudhry Lal Singh, it is setting a dangerous precedent in this country, and that could have disastrous consequences. The BJP that promised abolition of special status for Jammu and Kashmir, that wanted to bring in uniform civil code, is now allowing these elements, these legislators, to weaken its own case. Remember that. The lumpen elements are weakening the BJP as much as they are hurting the people of India. And I think the Prime Minister should take charge here and fire the lot of people who are bringing this kind of disrepute. People believe in him, and mere words are not going to do the job anymore. For us here at Mirror Now, for the people who came out on streets across the whole country, there is no community that is the villain. There is only the anger that our governments have repeatedly failed in making women safe, in protecting our little girls. There is only anger that even after this dastardly crime happens, politicians are busy bickering, either fighting for credit or pointing fingers or dividing people on the basis of community and caste lines. And all that matters is a fair investigation and a trial where justice is done. I hope the BJP wakes up and takes action against people like him before they vitiate and poison the atmosphere further, before they actually begin to make people in Jammu believe that they are isolated and the rest of the country thinks that they are pro-rapists. Because they are not, and we don't think so. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.